From the dancers to the rappers spitting out the lyrics all over the canvas of the four corners, you know boxing always takes on a unique approach whenever it's Yaya McClain and Absolute Boxing and Absolute Entertainment. The marquee is always reserved for headliners, and it was no different tonight. Fans lined up for a pre-fight toast, and let's face it was going to be a night full of knockdowns and knockouts. No drinks weren't on the house. However, the stage has been set. Once again, it's Cinderella in center stage. She's all dressed up in red. The main event tonight, billed as redemption, and that's exactly what it was all about. The last time Jose Roman and Troy Wilson faced each other, Wilson looked like the loser. However, he got the hometown nod and the victory. While Jose was bitter and confused and frustrated with the decision, Wilson admitted defeat despite a tainted win.
I have a lot of pride, and I'm not the kind of person that, I didn't feel justified of that win.
The battle of the words is over for now, and the only folks getting paid to talk tonight are these kings and queens of hip-hop. These entertainers laced up their vocabulary, battled it out just like the fighters, and you know who the winner was, Malachi, delivering a sensational knockout with his performance. But now the real battle begins. It's on, and that means, y'all, get ready for Absolute Boxing.
Tell me what you need, I get him by the flock. I call my homie Black, meet me on the app.
Can give it, can you take it? And overhand right that time by Roman. Got a knockdown in the fight. It appeared to be a right uppercut by Rohan Wilson. And as you can see, he's landing some big punches right now. And Hillman appears to be in trouble. Hillman takes another shot. Hillman goes down. Another right hand that time. And there it is, another knockdown. Doesn't look like he's getting up at all. Well, whenever there's boxing the absolute way, it's absolute entertainment, be it the ladies in the ring or be it the rappers. Hello, everybody. I'm Ronnie Duncan, and welcome to center stage for another fine action and night of championship boxing, absolutely the best way. Joining me on tonight's card is the #1 light heavyweight contender in the world, Rico Suave Hoy. And when Yaya McClain puts the card together, he doesn't play around. They're serious.
No, not at all. Like I said, like we say, Yaya is committed to bringing great fights, and he's looking forward. I mean, he's definitely putting in the work to bring Atlanta up in the boxing scene. So, I mean, great night, great fight. So, so hey, what can we say?
Hey, I'll tell you what, our main event of the evening is going to be a good one. It is a rematch. The last time they got together, Jose Roman taking on Troy Wilson. And you can see both fighters right now in their dressing room. They want to get back into business. But it was Jose Roman who should have gotten the win. Troy Wilson got it, but he said, guess what? I didn't earn it. It was a hometown decision.
Wilson saying that, he got the hometown decision. That shows us, that's, like I said, that's a testament to him. But the biggest thing is for him to come back and fight Roman again. He's looking to, this time hopefully come out and put on an even greater show and, give the fans what they deserve, but this time earn the victory.
All right, we come back. We'll have our very first bout of the evening. We're talking about some cruiserweights. I'm talking Mr. Callahan, Matt Callahan out of Atlanta, Georgia, taking on a young man from Cincinnati, Ohio, Julius Jackson. He says, guess what? This may be my pro debut, but somebody's in for a surprise. We'll find out how good it is as Ronnie Duncan, along with the one and only Rico Suave Hoy, come back with much more of Absolute Boxing after this. Can give it, can you take it? And overhand right that time by Roman. Got a knockdown in the fight. It appeared to be a right uppercut by Rohan Wilson. And as you can see, he's landing some big punches right now. And Hillman appears to be in trouble. Hillman takes another shot. Hillman goes down. Another right hand that time. And there it is, another knockdown. Doesn't look like he's getting up at all. All right, fight fans, we're here in Atlanta, Georgia, and once again, it's Absolute Boxing with the very best in boxing. Our very first bout of the evening is going to be a 4-round contest between Matthew Callahan along with Julius Jackson making their pro debut, and our boxers are going to the ring. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go upstairs to our ring announcer, the one and only Osei, the dark secret from B103.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, fight fans from around the world, I want to welcome you to Absolute Boxing Friday Night Fights here at Center Stage. Your judges for tonight's fights are Erwin Deutsch, Edward Cannon, and Annie Rowe Morgan. Your physicians for tonight's fights are Dr. B.D. Blake and Dr. Curtis Cheeks. Counting for the knockdown are Brian Stutz and James Cole. The commissioners for the Georgia State Athletic Commission are Philip Honeycutt and Kelly Farr, and Commissioner J.J. Biello, chairman. The commissioner in charge is the executive director of the Georgia State Athletic Commission, and that is Kelly Farr. And I need to bring to the center of the stage the promoter for Absolute Boxing Friday Night Fights, Mr. Yahya McClain. Put your hands together for my man Yahya.
Thank you. I want to thank everyone for coming out. And sorry about the delay. We had a couple technical difficulties, but we got it under control now. And I assure you, tonight, you're in for a treat. We got some really exciting fights. So once again, I want to thank y'all for coming out.
All right, fight fans, are you ready? If you're scared, you better say you're scared. Let's get this thing started.
As you can see, the one and only Osei, and of course our fighters are making it to the ring. Right now we've got the one and only Julius Jackson out of Cincinnati, Ohio, making his way to the ring, and this young man is making his pro debut. Joining me at ringside, the #1 ranked light heavyweight in the world, Rico Hoy. And Rico, remember that very first fight?
Oh, I definitely remember my first fight. It was 2001 June, and I had a lot of butterflies coming into it, knowing coming from the amateurs, going from 12-ounce gloves to the 10-ounce gloves and no headgear. So he's definitely feeling some butterflies right now, but that's natural in any fight.
You know, they say that his opponent is Matt Callahan, 1-0, right out of Atlanta, Georgia. And as you can see, Matt Callahan making his way into the ring. And I'm going to tell you right now, this guy looks like a movie star. And look at those trunks. Second pro fight, he's a pretty boy, but sometimes pretty boys can and cannot fight.
Sometimes they can and sometimes they can't. I would like to say, you know, in my case, I think I do a pretty good job of that. But no, seriously, you know, Callahan looks like he's prepared. He looks like he's coming from a karate or a kung fu background. I mean, I'm interested to see what's going to happen in this fight right here. But knowing fighters from Cincinnati, most Cincinnati fighters are extremely well schooled. So I'm very anxious to see Julius Jackson perform tonight.
Callahan. Your referee for the bout is Mr. George Chip.
All right, George Chip is the referee. Fighters to the center of the ring. Our very first bout of the evening. It is scheduled for 4 rounds, and we're talking about 2 guys that they call cruiserweights. And I'm talking, of course, Matt Callahan. Matt Callahan has on the white trunks with the little tassels, and of course the black, and then of course the all white trunks trimmed in white. That is Julius Jackson. Now, Julius Jackson's a pretty tall young man, and it's going to be quite interesting to see how he handles this fight.
And he's a southpaw, so it may present a problem for Callahan. He's coming from a different side, probably pretty much normally what he's used to seeing. So far it looks to be a close fight. I mean, nothing standing out from either fighter.
Julius Jackson is a southpaw. However, he is not a natural left-hander. He is a natural right-hander who said, guess what? I'm just going to go ahead and jab with that right. And that can be difficult, especially when you're young in your professional career. Now, I was talking, of course, to Matt Callahan prior to the fight, and he told me that he's had fights, but they've been basically in Europe. That was the extent of his amateur career. He's a tough guy. He's a guy who likes kickboxing. He's a guy who says, look, I know I can do this. And Julius Jackson says, I want this fight. Now, here's a story for you. It wasn't long ago that Julius Jackson was supposed to be the first opponent for a young man you might be familiar with, a 4-time Lake Erie Golden Glove champion, went to the Nationals back in 2001, and I speak of Amari Braxton out of Cleveland, Ohio. Amari Braxton saw some tape of Julius just working out, didn't want to fight him for his pro debut. He's tall, he's rangy, he's from Cincinnati, and he can fight. Let's face it, Cincinnati, Ohio, giving us the likes of course, the one and only Aaron the Hawk Pryor.
Not to mention you have great fighters like Ezra Charles coming from that area as well. So in my experience, a lot of the Cincinnati fighters are like I say, they're very well schooled, technically sound, and you know, slick fighters are come from that area. So far it doesn't look like he's very slick, but he is tall, he's rangy, and he's using his jab pretty well. He's starting to put his punches together.